Hey Rick, this is a continuation of my previous video. One of the joys of the iPhone is that when somebody calls you, it shuts off the video function, and for some reason they decided to override your videoing when the phone rings, which could really be frustrating if you're in the middle of videotaping some activity that has world implications, and the next thing you know, a solicitor calls up and wants to know if you want to buy timeshares in Boca. Alright, so we still have a cold engine, and we've got the fuel up to it, and let's see, I've got the chokes tied together. It's because this is the main choke and this is a slave, and this will flop around while the car is running. And let's see, we're going to, so we've got the battery attached, got the switch on, and you'll have to learn how your carburetors work best. I'm going to give it a quick squirt, and then I'm going to give it a choke. Not bad for cold carburetors. So in order to test adjust the carburetors, we have to get the engine warmed up. So right now we got a cold engine, as you can see by the temperature gauge right there. So let's rev it up, get some temp. Thermostat opened up. Got a little drip right there. She's burning off. That's why there's a carburetor drain, because these things will drip periodically. Now then, we are going to start the tuning process. First thing we're going to do, disconnect our throttle. And you hear our idle dropped a little bit. Well, that's the fun of having to adjust your shafts here, or your throttle linkage. Now then, first thing we're going to do is going to check to see what kind of airflow we have going through here. While we, so we want to make sure the airflow is minimal coming from the second barrel. And you see that one didn't even move, and that one didn't move, and that's about 1.5. The factory reading would be probably up around 2.5. So the machine work is wonderful. Now then, we're going to make sure the first barrel of each carburetor is pulling the same amount of air. Alright, we are reading 5 right there, looks like. So over here, obviously I've already adjusted these. And we're reading a little bit above almost 6. So we're going to do some adjusting right now. We're going to increase the first barrel. And a little bit more. There we go. 6 right there. Now then, this is we're going to work with the idle mixture screws. Reposition the camera. Okay, idle mixture screw right here. This is the one I told you snug down to half, snug it down until it stops, and just very lightly, and then back it out 1.5 turns. Well, now we're going to use this to actually adjust the carburetors. And I'm going to adjust it in until the idle drops, and then adjust it out until the idle drops, so we're going to get the midpoint. And this is what you're going to do on your engine, because right now I'm tuning the carburetors to my engine. You need to tune to your engine. So hear the engine start to falter. It doesn't take much. These are very sensitive carburetors. Back out a little bit. Start to falter again. Back in where we had them. We got our best running. Now what I like to do, show you visually is with this dwell meter right here back. I'm going to lower the, let's see, I know I've put this underneath here a little bit further. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So what we're looking at here is the dwell meter, the RPM, and we got it on the high side right now. So I'm going to switch over to the low. This is the RPM right here. We are running 700, 725. I'm going to adjust the idle mixture screw. And you'll see the RPM change. And we want to get our best idle speed. That's what we're looking for. See our RPM drop off very easily, very quickly. Back out. RPM drops again, so we go back in where we get our best idle speed. There we go, right about there. Now we just make sure that we do that with both carburetors. And very simple, very straightforward. Now we put this on the high scale, on the high side. Well, actually, now while we're here, let's get your idle. That idle is running about 700. No, it's actually what, about 650 right now. Let's get up to about 7. So I'm going to adjust your idle speed. And about 700, 750 rather, 750. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's where it should be. So we come over here. Alright, now then, we're back with our carburetors. We're checking our airflow theory. Remember this was at 6 and change, so I bumped it up just a smidge. A little bit above 6, okay, back over here. A little bit above 6, that's a little bit. I'm pulling up on this linkage right here. I'm pulling up on this linkage because the other one's got a return spring on, this one doesn't, so I'm pulling up here. Back this one off just a smidge. There we go. And about. Back this off a little bit. There we are, about 6. Now the next step is to adjust your throttle linkage. so that when you snap it in place, the idle does not change dramatically. And that's why this is on a turnbuckle, so you can dial this in exactly. And where your object is to adjust this so that when you snap it in place, nothing happens dramatically. That increased a little bit because I'm not perfectly adjusted, but that's to get the idea. Then you do like that, rev it, make sure it doesn't backfire. If it does, you're going to want to go back to your idle mixture screws and back them out a little bit. You can make sure that you've enriched the mixture. And those are adjusted carburetors. Yeah, that's a hot. Now we're going to do a hot start. My wire came off. Okay, hang on. My wire came off of my. That's interesting. It came out. Huh. The wire came off my starter here, my little impromptu starter. So let me put this back on. There we go. That's a hot start. Got some really nice carburetors there for you. Thank you.